All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have what I think the last round of 32 matchup for you guys. We do have NuFC facing off against Team yoL, which is YOLO style.
YOLO.
You only live once style. I'm Zyori. With me is Min. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. I think there was some sort of an issue at the LAN center with the login screen, but we're good to go. Min, how art thou?
Yeah, really looking forward to another game. So previously we saw the Draconis just dominated the Legion team, and well, it's kind of one-sided, but I really enjoyed the game. And the reason, I think, because the Legion team does not have enough crowd control, so hence and another thing that we both agree, they do not really synergize their teamwork really well, so
Yeah. Absolutely.
that caused their loss. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So Team NuFC on our Legion side, of course, easy to confuse with Team MUFC. And, well, I think that's kind of the point. And as you pointed out, Min, a little bit of troll action over here. I think you reported that this isn't the real MUFC roster. Or is it?
Yeah, it isn't. I appears to read it on the Horn Malaysian news, and I actually saw this news, so I don't know if it's legit, but I'll just follow the news whatever is stated there. So well, I don't think this is their main lineup, and I think they are from MUFC, but it appears that it's not their main team. That's all.
Right, there you go. Well said. Well said. Of course, there is actually one person tagged up in the true MUFC tag here, Selena. So we'll see. High hopes for this Legion team. YOL, not a team that we've casted before that I can remember, but we'll see what they're made of here. They do have a 1500, a freshie over here, if you will, at least in public games. So sky's the limit, so to speak, and we'll see what they're all about in this best-of-1 series here in the round of 32. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bans here. Of course, NuFC going to start us off with first ban on to Magnus, followed up by Dark Lady, Tempest, Pebbles, the Polywog Priest, Ophelia, Jeriziah, and Draconis. So a fairly even spread of different hero classifications, some familiar faces with heroes that we've seen in today's event already. But the Dark Lady ban is sort of an interesting choice. We've been seeing hard carry bans every so often, but interesting to see it come out on Dark Lady.
Yeah, Dark Lady is one of the strongest melee carry heroes, so it's good to have him banned, and he's really strong and he farms really fast with the Rune Cleaver, so it's better be safe than sorry. If you don't have a good farmer within your lineup, it's better that you ban the Dark Lady to actually prevent, yeah.
Right. So, with Dark Lady banned, of course, that does mean Mage Bane is still in the pool, and we see Fade was actually first picked by our Legion team, and you have to wonder a little bit, is that sort of a preemptive counter pick to Mage Bane in case that's what this Hellborn team is considering? And also, I mean, Fade is just one that we've just been seeing picked up quite a bit. Last game we saw her running a tri-lane, and just a hero with a lot of utility, and not the Fade that we see in pub games. I don't think we've seen a Codex Fade in quite some while, but it seems more about that portal key kind of initiation style Fade with that huge line stun that is Burning Shadows. But an interesting first pick nonetheless. That will open up Meraxis Bubbles for the Hellborn team to pick up here, but not to worry. NuFC gets to grab their Aluna Glacius. Now, DS Predator picked up by Team YOL. What do you think here, man? I mean, I'm a big fan of Demented Shaman, but Predator as well. Two heroes we really don't see so often in our current meta.
All right. With Demented Shaman, I really like Demented Shaman. He is one of the heroes that is really irritating, that you really need to burst down during the engage. If not, he's just going to keep his teammate alive at all times. So he's really a good supporter, and I really like Demented Shaman, especially the Unbreakable. It's a tight turner skill. So basically, like, you think that you will be able to burst down this hero, and suddenly the Demented Shaman just throw the cape to the hero and just save him. And instead of dying, he might pick up some kills. So that's why I really like Demented Shaman. And for Predator, I don't really like, because Predator is one hero that farm extremely slow, and he really relies on teammate and items. So especially right now, the Legion team actually had Tundra picked up, and it's a exact counter to Predator. So it's really bad down here. So I don't really like that picked up, but nonetheless, it's their lineup, so they might have some tricks up their sleeve. So we'll see to it.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a good point. And this Hellborn team is keeping things interesting. And what I do like about their roster is that it's very well-rounded. They've got Bubbles Meraxis for their solo lanes. They've got Legionnaire, of course, for the jungle. And, I mean, DS Predator is a very powerful lane. Oops. There we go. It is a very strong lane, and a lot of potential to do a lot of damage. The double slow, and of course all physical. The great thing about Demented Shaman is his spells do physical damage, even that heal. So again, that does change the state of things a little bit in the early game. Now this Legion roster is pretty damn scary as well. You mentioned Tundra picked up. And that's a hero that we've talked about a little bit in the past as one that's extraordinarily high skill cap. In a lot of games we see him banned kind of right away, and in this game he was not banned, left open, and picked up by NuFC, and we'll see how he fares. Looks like he's going to be up here in the suicide lane. Down in the bottom, looks like it could be a tri-lane, Fade, Aluna, Glaciist, and Magebane. I don't know who's going to end up solo mid. I imagine it's going to be Fade, and they're just looking for maybe a little bit of early Bloodlust action. Bubbles will be able to get the ward down, so there isn't going to be much lane pulling here for our Legion team. Unfortunately for them, they're just not going to get there in time to make it happen. And of course, Bubbles going to get a little bit of intel about what's going on. So Bubbles is going to be that long laner. It is going to be Meraxis solo mid. Then up at the top here, at the moment, we've got Legionnaire, Demented Shaman, and Predator. Now, of course, as we've mentioned a couple of times in today's cast, we haven't seen too many junglers as of late here on the Garinahan SEA channel. But Legionnaire, amongst those junglers, is extraordinarily rare. What do you make of that pick here, Min, compared to all of the other junglers that were left on the board?
Alright, so Legionnaire is really a good jungling hero, but you have to depend on what creeps has been spawned for you. So if you keep getting those hard creeps like Catman instead of Skeleton King, then it's really going to spice up your life in the jungling. So it really depends on your luck, firstly, and secondly, it's if you're successful in your jungling and you want to roam around, be it in the top lane or in the middle, it's really very efficient because of the terrifying charge. It's really efficient. So what I can say is a double-edged sword if you want to jungle with Legionnaire, and I really think that Legionnaire fits in the laning phase as well, but oh well. So it's like Predator. Predator can jungle and lane as well, but if you put Predator in the jungle, it's like losing its potential. So yeah.
Well, that's absolutely right, and it's interesting that you bring that up here. I'm quite confident we'll see this Legionnaire in the jungle, but in a solo heads-up lane, he can go toe-to-toe with another melee hero very, very easily, because as we're all well aware, when you right-click a hero in lane, you aggro those creeps, and that procs the Whirling Blade on Legionnaire. So if they were to put him mid, or hell, even top against Tundra or Fade, he would probably fare quite nicely. But regardless, we'll probably see him play a little bit more standard style in the jungle, I would assume. Interesting build, though, to start things off. Legionnaire going Hatchet Shield instead of 2 Iron Bucklers. Generally speaking, you kind of see the double Iron Buckler opener, just to absorb that damage and proc the Whirling Blade even more so. I'll admit I haven't crunched the numbers, but I don't know that the auto attack DPS with a hatchet makes up for the amount of damage absorbed, and in turn the damage output from the additional Whirling Blades you're able to put out thanks to the second shield. I don't know. What do you think? Should we do the math on this one and find out the hatchet is actually better than 2 shields?
But well, actually, you don't really use your auto attack to kill the creeps.
Right.
So you actually rely on the Whirling Blade instead. So
yeah.
Well, sometimes where you are really unlucky, you don't really get to spin, so you might need to rely on your auto attack. So it's not really that bad to get Cooling Blade. I mean, Lodged Hatchet, but it's also not bad to get 2 Iron Buckler, which I prefer to be in that way because it makes you more tanky in another sense if you are that unlucky. So
Yep.
yeah,
I agree. Just not to nitpick, but just an interesting thing to point out here. So Meraxes is not going to have a solo Fade mid. It is indeed going to be a Fade, a Luna lane here in the mid. So in the bottom, that does leave Glacius, Magebane, and it looks like Magebane going to have pretty much free farm down here. We see Bubbles already harassed back outside of experience range. Glacius doing a very nice job to start us off here. And that is great news for Magebane, not the best news for Bubbles. We see Meraxes actually smackdowned right here, or taunted, I should say. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do too much. Again, sort of the same story, different chapter in this mid lane. Looks like a Luna is going to keep this Meraxes on lockdown. Fade's going to be able to pick up, well, something pretty close to free farm, sitting 7-4, and poor Meraxes here sitting 0-0 as he's harassed back to the tower. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Tundra, the one sort of stuck without any farm. He is going to find a cute little spot in the trees here where they actually can't see him, so he's going to be able to pick up that experience. And Legionnaire, 7 hit points. Is he going to be able to go down? Wow, that is the luckiest shield proc I've ever seen right there. He should have died, I think. A little bit of RNG there for Legionnaire. So it seems the hatchet shield strategy a little bit rough here to take out this this medium camp.
Yeah, he actually did a double stack, so without the dual Iron Buckler, so he will be less vulnerable. So I mean, he will be more vulnerable than he should not actually do double stacks without the 2 shields. So I personally, that's why I prefer to go for 2 shields rather than a hatchet, because as I said, you don't really rely on your auto attack. Instead, you just rely on the wielding blade.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes for Legionnaire. Going to run himself a couple more potions here, so we'll see. Legionnaire definitely one that can get out of control, kind of like Rampage a little bit. If he snowballs, picks up that early momentum, he can get a little bit out of control and kind of take over a game a little bit with all that physical. Pardon me. In the mid lane, we do see Meraxes taking a little bit of harassment from that double stun of Fade and Luna. Luckily for him, though, he's a beefcake. One of the great things about Meraxes and why he fits so well in that solo role. He's just so damn tanky, kind of like Tundra as well. Very comparable on that front. Let's take a look at the GPM chart, though. It looks like Predator and Magebane are farming on par with one another, both in that kind of free farm environment. Sitting around 300 GPM, so that's good news for both sides. At this rate, though, the question is, all things equal, which team benefits more? Does the team with Predator or the team with Magebane? And that's a question I'm actually hard-pressed to answer. As you mentioned with Predator, he's a hero that doesn't have a great farming mechanism. And we'll see. Generally, he's not a hero that you go Rune Cleaver on. So that does sort of put a ceiling on his farming compared to a Magebane that presumably will pick up a Rune Cleaver at some point in this game. I mean, what do you think? All things equal, I mean, we're off to a pretty slow game, a pretty farm-intensive match, 3.5 minutes in, 0-0, and really haven't been that close to a bloodlust. What do you think? Magebane versus Predator, what do you like?
I would prefer a Magebane get farmed than a Predator, because one thing, they had Tundra, so he can easily lock down Predator with his ult, so that's one thing they need to consider. And second, Predator is a strength attribute compared to a Magebane with agility, so definitely agility carry will stand out more than a strength. So yeah, that's another point they need to take note of. So
yeah, well, I think you did mention this in the picking phase as well, but Tundra against Predator, that's absolutely huge. Of course, the thing about Predator, one of the things about Predator that makes him so powerful is that stone hide, and yeah, Tundra will go through that with the avalanche. So that is just sort of a nice counter there. And Tundra's actually been able to pick up a little bit of farm. He is going to be 13-0 in his suicide lane. Bubbles, though, he is struggling is an understatement. This Bubbles is still level 1. He is 0-0 right now. His XP per minute is literally 0. He has not been in range of a single creep kill this game. So, of course, with that, Anti-Mage is absolutely free farming. But, I mean, being able to just totally lock a Bubbles out of experience farm is so advantageous. I mean, this is basically a 4v5 at the moment. any of these team fights, Bubbles is going to be a free kill if he gets caught.
Yeah, definitely. You compare Bubbles to actually Tundra, so Tundra is really doing a good job sitting at level 5 right now, and Bubbles only at level 1, where we always mention that Bubbles will not be useful until he reached the level 6 mark with the curb field on. So right now he can't even do any ganks at all, even though he wants to assist his teammates. So
yeah,
it's pretty huge down there. Yeah,
and the big difference in comparing these suicide lanes isn't just in the hands of these suicide players, but also in the hands of the supports. You can look at Demented Shaman here, and he has a completely different playstyle to that Glacius. As I'm tunnel visioning on the beautiful Demented Shaman, we do miss the Bloodlust kill in the mid lane. Let's like Fade, the one to actually pick up the bonus 200 gold. Miraxis finally does fall to the duo of a Luna Fade. My apologies for missing that. The point I was going to make, though, is this Glacius. We see Vor down here doing an incredibly good job. If we look at the damage breakdown tab, Glacius is at 15% of the overall hero damage, and actually on par with Demented Shaman, so that kind of ruins the point that I was going to make. But regardless, Glacius is keeping Bubbles at bay. Bubbles can't get close to the into experience range because of how aggressive Glacius is being. Demented Shaman, on the other hand, is doing the complete opposite. Both him and Predator sitting here at full mana. That should never be the case. If this Tundra is up near the creeps, they need to abuse the power that is in their lane. That should be an instant leap, instant entangle, heal bomb, boom. Tundra's at half health. That's what they need to be doing. They need to punish him for being so so ballsy, so to speak, when it comes to being near the creeps and getting experience. Demented Shaman should be able to keep him out of experience range. At this point, going to be a little bit tricky. With the Avalanche, there is some potential for Tundra to actually set up a quick burst kill onto Demented Shaman, or Predator for that matter, if they get into a fight. But earlier on, Demented Shaman absolutely could have kept him at least partially out of experience range, and I think DS is playing this lane way too passively, and that is going to make things so difficult for them. Again, comparing the two suicide laners, this Tundra going to be a driving force in this game, whereas Bubbles and even Miraxis as well, kind of in a similar situation. If you look at that GPM chart, 3 heroes at kind of static gold gain point right now for this Hellborn team. They are off to a slow start for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what you have mentioned just now, if they had the chance, they should just go straight for Tundra, actually pull him out of the experience range, and yeah, they should start doing this instead of just letting him reach the experience, even though he has no goal. But experience plays a big part in game as well. So
especially
like,
in the suicide lane.
Yeah, that's right. So right now we see Mage Bane actually pick up an Alchemist Bone, so that's definitely going to boost up his farm much more faster. So they really need to do something about this, and not just letting Mage Bane free farm all the way. Right now sitting at 378 GPM is not really a good sign for the Hellborn team.
And I think that was a great choice from Mage Bane to go ahead and pick up the Alchemist Bones. It's not an item we normally see on Mage Banes, but normally because they're not open to just free farm in a true manner like this Mage Bane is here. We see Glacius has even left this bottom lane, yet still Bubbles is hiding away here. He's still level 1 XP per minute. Bubbles still has not gotten a single piece of experience. Literally 0 XP per minute. 8.5 minutes in. I have never seen such an extreme case of suicide lane intensity here. Absolutely shut down. In the mid lane, speaking of getting shut down, Miraxis is going to get dove on. Bubbles is going to pour it in. I don't know what his plan is. I mean, he's only level 1. He's going to throw his Shell Surf. He's completely out of mana now. He's got a mana battery and a Guardian Ring. He's finally going to be able to get a little bit of experience here in the mid lane since Miraxis is dead, but he needs to be damn careful. I mean, just a couple of spells coming his way, and yeah, he's going to be in big trouble. So we'll see. We'll see what he does. Also, this Legionnaire, he's been farming away. He's definitely had a couple of opportunities to move into this top lane. I mean, Tundra was pushed up pretty far for a while. This is the first time he's going to pull to try and get a little bit of lane control back. Unfortunately, it's not a stacked pull, so not going to be the most effective in getting this lane control. But Legionnaire absolutely could have set up some ganks. All he had to do was come in the back, throw a taunt on the Tundra, and they have the damage to take him out, especially now that Predator is level 6. No ward coverage for Tundra up here, so if he pushes past the river, that's virtually a free kill if Legionnaire comes into the lane.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So Legionnaire had to do something, set up some kills at least on Tundra, because our Bubbles is really losing the lane at the bottom really hard, and he's now barely sitting at level 2. So you see right now, they are not even aggressive against Tundra, and looks like there's an action going on, and Dementor Shaman is in big trouble. Cow will take down, and wow, Avalanche on Predator, but not be able to follow up. Reflection cast on Fade, but I don't think he's gonna do anything to them, and he just gonna fall back after that. So yes, I totally agree with you, and they are really playing really passively. They are just like, okay, Predator has farm, so we will just let him farm, and they are not setting any gang. So yeah.
And here we go, initiation on a Legionnaire as well, and that could be a mistake. Predator's going to come in. There's the charge. If Preg can get a leap off here, they may be able to make something happen. Fade is going to go ahead and drain that mana. A Luna going to come in as well. I think Legionnaire is going to be in big trouble here. Predator going to get caught by the stun, and this is looking rough for the Hellborn side. The support from the Legion is just too much. Predator not even auto-attacking. Oh, that is not how you want to engage that fight. Predator is not a hero that flourishes when he's running. He needs to auto-attack for that lifesteal. Bubbles, of course, going to go down. What the hell he's going to be able to do? Only level 2. Mirax is going to come in here. He's level 6. Not enough mana for the ulti, though. This is a 2v4. Demented Shaman will get an ultimate off. They may be able to get a kill onto Glacius here. Glacius is going to fall. I think they should just turn and right-click, pound into this Miraxis. I mean, I don't know why they're all running. It's still a 3v2 Miraxis with no mana. Without an ulti, Miraxis really isn't so tanky. The ultimate is the thing that allows Miraxis to be that huge beefcake at level 6. So knowing that he's so low on mana, potential for a kill there, but not going to make it happen. I guess they figure it's a moot point with Demented Shaman so nearby. But wow, 6-1 now favoring NuFC. They are in absolutely great shape here, man. Magebane just farming away still in the bottom lane, having an absolute field day. His creep store 51 and 33. Oh my gosh, that's Fade. Magebane is 85 and 68. That is by far the most denies I have seen on a hero in a single game, and we're only 12 minutes in, man. That is incredible. Look at this lane control he's got for himself. He hasn't left this position the entire game. Beautifully done. He would be denying all that farm if anyone was in the lane, but the Hellboar doesn't really seem to care. Like, Magebane, psh, who cares? Let him do his thing. Not worried. We got this. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, to me, I don't think they had any counters against Magebane. So, well, actually, Bubbles can counter Magebane, but right now, I don't think so, where he's just sitting at level 2, and he's practically not going to be doing anything. And right here, we at the middle lane, at the Congo pit, we see Dementor Shaman in rough position. Tundra is actually blocking his way, and yes, we'll be able to take him out with the assist of Fade, and well played there. I did not know why Dementor Shaman did not want to back there, because Tundra actually dropped a very big hint down there. He actually keep blocking him, even with the Invis rune, and he's still loitering around the Congo pit, not backing off, and that's really a huge mistake.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Predator going to move into an Ice Brand here, so I guess a fairly typical a pickup here for a Predator. I'm really curious what Magebane is doing with all of his money, because I know he's gotten more than 900 gold in the bank having that Alchemist bonus. There he is. He's going to right-click a 13-minute Runed Cleaver here, Min. Magebane already at 450 GPM. If this Hellborn team really is thinking, well, our Predator's farming well, we're in good shape, they need to be very careful here with that logic. That may have been the case if this Magebane didn't go Alchemist Bones first, but that was such a smart pickup for him. Now that he has that super quick Rune Cleaver, I mean, wow, there's just going to be no stopping him. It doesn't really matter what Predator does at this rate of farm. Magebane will just simply be unstoppable. Generally, we say those carries become unstoppable in the late game, but here it's really just going to be a mid-game Magebane carry. That's going to be the time at which he flourishes. And like you were saying, Bubbles can be a bit of a counter with that silence, and I would even go a step further that he can be, because generally Hellflower is going to be an item choice, but that's going to be out of the realm of possibility here. Miraxis almost going down. Demented Shaman going to be able to keep him up, and we actually have a pretty big team fight here. Magebane the only one not participating at the moment, and he may opt to port in. Still no kills coming out. Glacius very well maybe the first to fall, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 Glacius for Miraxis and Legionnaire. Bubbles going to fall here as well. Make that a 3-for-1 double tap. Now going to come out in favor of Fade. All the while in the bottom lane, Magebane pushing this lane. He's going to be able to pick up that tier 1 tower. And Demented Shaman looking like he's having a bad time. Down he goes. Predator, the only one left alive of this Hellborn team. We see Bubbles has already respawned, but Predator going to micro his way into the trees. So very well, this Legion team may opt to just take this tier 1 tower after they finish off Predator here. There's the Burning Shadows from Fade, all the right clicks coming in, and that's going to be the end of Predator coming up here. And one more, down he goes. Now more ports coming in. Legionnaire as well as Meraxis. Legionnaire trying to make it happen. He whiffs the ultimate onto a Luna. She wasn't low enough, and she's going to be able to just walk away. Meraxis trying to do what he can, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to secure too many kills here. Bubble's going to join the party yet again. So a convincing team fight for the Legion side. Not that it matters, though. Even if they lost that team fight, that was still an opportunity for Magebane to take a tower and pick up even more free farm. Rune Cleaver, Alchemist Bones, no boots. I like it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So right now, the Legion team is really in good shape. And why... They still had this. I mean, if they really come back to their sense and come back to reality, I mean, they still had this. Why? Because yes, Magebane is really farmed up now with the 30-minute Rune Cleaver and the Alchemist Bone. But look at this, he's really squishy, and yeah, with the 3-stack creep can actually bring him to half-life. So I bet that with a little bit of burst damage, they will be able to burst down Magebane within 2 seconds from what hero they had. And look at top lane, wow, they just gonna just
even through the Meraxis ult, they just dive the tower, easy peasy. 2 more kills, 14-2 here, 16 minutes in. You're exactly right about Magebane, though, and that's one of the things that we do talk about. Anytime I see someone go for a Rune Cleaver, my first thought is you gotta punish it. You gotta punish that economic investment. And as always, a StarCraft analogy comes to mind. If a Protoss goes Forge Fast Expand, you sure as hell either need to expand on time with it, or you need to punish that greed. That's exactly what Magebane is doing here. Still no boots, going straight for a Firebrand. So this is like the greediest Magebane build that you can do. Literally. No boots, no stats, all damage, and farming tools. So you're exactly right, good sir. Unfortunately, I think they may have just crossed that threshold of maybe a little bit too much. Fade now has a tablet, and Speak of the Devil is going to be able to pick up a kill onto Demented Shaman, and we'll see how this fight continues here. Fade, you might be having a bad time. Whoa, look at that tablet. Going to be able to juke the taunt from Legionnaire, and Fade very well may be able to survive this, but, well, maybe. Going to micro in the trees. Bubble's going to come in, of course, no kelp field. And is Fade going to be able to get away? Nope, there's the mighty leap from Predator. Stonehide going to make him immune to the stun. And we are going to see that kill actually go in favor of Meraxis. But the portal key on Tundra, as well as that first ringmail, I'm sure he's going to be working on that Soul's Bulwark. I don't know. They may still be in this game, but it's going to be quite the mountain to climb. And if they want to punish the greed from this Magebane, they sure as hell need to do it soon here, man.
Yes, definitely. They really need to catch this Magebane, and well, he's really going for an offensive build, like what you said. He doesn't even have a red boost right now, and his movement speed is only he's at 347, and I'm shocked without the red boot. So wow. And yeah, the only chance for them to actually go back to this game is to keep punishing Magebane from what? Because right now Magebane is too overconfident, and he go for full DPS even without the boot. So if they may be able to catch Magebane down here, and look at middle lane, wow, nice fade down there without any ref, what he will be able to reflect back to them and just backstab them. And wow, we'll be able to bring down 2 heroes, Demented Shaman as well as Bubbles. So well played there by the Legion team.
Yep, absolutely. Meraxis does survive thanks to that ultimate, but still a nice 2-0. And all the while, Magebane got to take out at least a double-stacked Ancients, if not a triple-stacked. So again, he's just having a field day. Oh gosh, pardon me. God, so full of odd body noises today. Yeah, the Firebrand and pulling up another 3K. Maybe he's just gonna see how long he can go without getting boots here. At this point, he might as well set a record for greediest Magebane build in the world. I'll be curious to see what if he goes a build here that's just all DPS. No boots, no stats, just straight up, straight into Savage Mace at this point. I would love to see it. Oh, snakes. He's going to go ahead and get the geometers, but still no boots. So we'll see. Tundra, though, has now finished up that Soul's Bulwark, which makes him much more scary, as well as Fade here does have a portal key. So we talked about Fade playing that initiation role, and he's going to be able to do just that. Does have an invisibility rune active. I think initiation may be coming their way. Warder Rev going to come down. Fade going to be in a bit of a sticky wicket here. Going to get caught by the taunt. That'll be the end of Fade. Very nicely done by the Hellborn team. And we'll see if they can make anything else come of this fight. That may be enough to scare back the forces of NuFC a little bit here. That will slow down a little bit of their momentum. Fade may think twice about that those greedy initiations here. Vor going to go ahead and throw down a counter ward of his own here. And get back some lane control here in the mid. Very nicely done by the Purple Glacius. By the way, 630 GPM on Mage Bane here. 20 minutes in.
Yeah, that's extremely high. And well, I kind of don't like this Mage Bane play, and I don't like his play style. He's just farming all the way, like the famous Angry Tasty, where he just keeps farming and farming and farming without contributing anything to the team. So, well, actually, personally, I don't like this gameplay because
that was a hard burn on Testy there, man. Damn.
Well, Testy is really a real, and he's really famous in his farming skill. He can hit 800 GPM easily without any difficulty. So yeah, I just like to bring him to this. So
no, you're absolutely right. I think this Mage Bane can even take the double stack on the Hellborn here. I mean, you're right. Maybe this is Angry Testy. It's good.
But yeah, at least he should like help out in his team. Like just now, there's an engage at the top, and he does not even want to pot to the top, and he just continues to push. Yeah. So yeah,
absolutely.
That's really,
engage in the bottom. Predator actually going to call with an avalanche. Still had the stone hide on, so the follow-up wasn't there. We'll see how this fight continues. Bubbles did hit level 6. He's got the kelp field, and we'll see how this fight turns out. First of all, is going to be Glacius, and Fade may be short to follow. Predator is going to be able to finish him off, so that's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange in favor of this Hellborn side. As you were just mentioning, Mage Bane nowhere to be found, so it was a 4v5. We are going to see a port out there for a Luna, and he's going to be able to survive. But still, a little bit of momentum, a sign of life for this Hellborn team. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like they are recovering back from their engage, and ever since then, they have been winning both 2 engages. So it looks like they are recovering, and Predator had an eye, so Fate will be a big trouble down here. So, well, I don't think that they really recover that much, but at least it's some sign of improvement, I can say.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but again, they've basically been playing a 5v4 this entire game. If you look at the stats here, Mage Bane 0, 0, and 0. Literally a 5v4. So it is a sign of life, but yeah, Predator has now finished that Frostburn, so he's one step closer to becoming a scary force in this game. But, you know, man, I think we've talked about this a little bit in the past in previous casts, but I'm not a big fan of the Frostburn in a lot of cases, and this is a case where they're already behind by such a margin. The great thing about Frostburn is to get you that edge in the early game. It can kind of allow you to snowball a little bit. It's a very well-rounded item, but here I think Predator needed something a little bit more spicy. Oftentimes, I think I say, I would have liked a Shield Breaker first, or maybe even Lifesteal. It's just I don't know, not the strongest of attack modifiers, and here it just feels like it's going to be too little too late for Predator to go toe-to-toe with this Mage Bane. Amongst some other things. I mean, him being level 11 and this Mage Bane being level 17 is also a problem as well, especially now that he has that Geometer's Bane. So, we'll see. We'll see. Miraxis has picked up a portal key as well, which is further good news, though. It looks like Mage Bane is finally ready to join the fights. 660 GPM. He's got his Steam Boots. He is 1-0-0 now. And, yep, he's ready to fight. He's just going to hop straight in. He's going to obliterate Bubbles here. And he's just going to let his illusions do a lot of the work. They're going to drop this tower pretty damn quick here. Champion Newarth coming out for Tundra. 9-0-8. He's at 400 GPM himself. He's having a pretty damn good game. And I think this mid lane of Rax is destined to fall here, man.
Yep, definitely. I don't think they will be able to defend this, and yeah, it's definitely going to be a free Rex for the Legion team.
Yep. And we'll see where they go from here. They're not going to be able to just take one of the other lanes because they haven't pushed the tier 2s in top or bottom. So I imagine they're just going to rotate their little pain train here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Just take it to the top, clear up this wave of creeps, and they're going to take this tier 2 and rinse and repeat. Just move in and, well, take out this tier 3. So unfortunately, no one is close at all to a Hellflower. If they had a Hellflower, they may be able to set something up on this Magebane. He's still super squishy, and we'll say. Let me ask you a question here, Min.
Yep.
I'm about 95% sure I know the answer. If you have a Magebane with the Geometers and you put Hellflower on him before he uses Geometers, can he use the Geometers to pop? To dispel the Hellflower? No, right? Because he's perplexed from the Hellflower, so he can't use the Geometers to get out of it. Correct?
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. So it is a nice counter to Magebane. You can stop him from using that Geometers, and yeah, they're not even close. That's the one thing this Hellborn team could do right now to start turning this around a little bit. And of course, Bubbles is the prime candidate to pick one up, and we've seen how well Bubbles has been farming this game. So the chances of him grabbing one, very, very slim, and I don't know. I think that's sort of their only hope. That is the Obi-Wan Kenobi of this game, and unfortunately, it's gonna be that scene when Vader strikes him down, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that Hellflower is definitely the best item. Well, it can be the best, but if we say the best, Shipstick is the best, but Hellflower definitely is one of the good items that will be able to stop the wrath of Magebane. But as you said, Bubbles is the best candidate for their lineup to actually pick up a Hellflower. So, well, we can see Bubbles right now sitting at 84 GPM, and he's not really doing a lot of work. So I don't think he will be able to pick up Hellflower anytime soon. So.
Yeah, absolutely not. And Magebane, though, he's picked up a Wingbow as if he wasn't farmed enough. That's kind of the nail in the coffin. There's no way Predator will be able to stand toe-to-toe with him. There was a point where maybe, all things equal, before this Wingbow, Predator and Magebane, I don't know if Predator would have won the battle, but could have given Magebane a run for his money. But now with that invasion, that counters Predator pretty hard for a couple of reasons. One, Predator generally not a hero. You're going to see a Savage Mace on, at least not anytime soon. And two, because before that Savage Mace comes out, you know, Predator is going to have a 30% miss rate. And of course that does counter his lifesteal, so lowering what he can do. We're going to see a team fight here, and it's just a massacre. Beautiful initiation by this Legion team, and they're going to clean it up. That's going to be a 5-0, a clean sweep genocide. And yeah, there it is. For a second I thought maybe not, but a quad kill coming out from Magebane, 6-0-1, 750 GPM. I don't know, I think that may do him in. They're going to take out this tier 2. They're going to easily be able to push this bottom lane. At this point, just a matter of time, my friend here. 28 minutes in, 26-6, favoring NuFC.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they can stand any chance right now because Magebane is really overfarmed, sitting at like 781 or 780 GPM at the moment, and he's almost fully geared. So without Hellflower, definitely you will not be able to face Magebane.
Yep, absolutely right. And we see a couple heroes spawning here and just getting killed while in the well. That's kind of how high the DPS is for this Legion team. Bottom lane of Rax finally falls, and we'll see where they go from here. They're actually going to port out, and it looks like they're going to push back this top lane. And yeah, this is going to bring the creeps with them. They might even take Kongor out. Why the hell not?
Yeah, right now, even in this situation, if you give a Shipstick and a Hellflower to the Hellborn team, I don't think they will be able to make case as well. So a GG welfare has been caught by the Hellborn team, and looks like it's gonna be a GG. Or maybe not.
Maybe. Many a time we have been fooled by the troll GG.
Oh.
And there it is. It's going to pass. So there you have it, folks. That is going to be the end of this next round of 32 matchup here. And failing to retrieve that match information. Nothing makes me more sad after a game of not being able to look at the match information, man. There we go. And Mage Bane, of course, kind of the hero in that game. 7-0-3, 375 creep kills. An interesting game for Mage Bane. I think that, of course, for yoL, the big problem was just letting him free farm. I mean, absolute free farm environment. That poor Bubbles. He ended the game with 8 creep kills. I pity the fool.
Yeah, definitely. You can see at Bubbles, the first few minutes, he got totally no experience at all, sitting at level 1, where Mage Bane is level 7. And that's really huge for the Hellborn team. You don't want your Bubbles to be level 1. It's really very disappointing and demotivating. So
yeah,
they should actually tweak some of their strategy, maybe try bottom against a Mage Bane. It will be more efficient, and you let Bubbles to do a solo safe lane. I think things will turn out much better than this.
Absolutely. That would have been one remedy, and also I think another remedy perhaps would have been just a top lane that did equally well. They needed to harass that Tundra. At the picking phase, we both said Predator Demented Shaman, that is a powerful lane. There are a lot of lane duos in the game of Heroes of Newerth that are hard to deal with. That is one of them, and seeing both of them sitting there at full mana watching Tundra hit creeps is just like, just kill him, please. But an interesting game nonetheless. That's the power of Mage Bane, folks, if you give him that kind of farm. Regardless, that is the end of the round of 32, guys. We're going to be moving into the round of 16 coming up. Don't you go anywhere. Plenty more Heroes of Newerth action coming your way here in the Kuala Lumpur Offlane Qualifier.